it's Jahara. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I have a lot of jewelry, stuff from shows and movies I like, and I wanted to point out one of my many Harry Potter. I have so many Harry Potter jewelries on real, mostly necklaces. This is Tom Marvolo Riddle's diary with the Basilisk Fang. See, and is after Harry had stabbed it to defeat it and save Ginny. I just had to point that out. I'm also wearing a Harry Potter shirt because I'm all in Harry Potter mood. I really want to watch those movies. I have today and tomorrow off. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. But my last video, I think I told you. Oh, I forgot. Okay. When I was showing you my merchandise, I forgot a little bit of Harry Potter, and I forgot to bring it out here. I'm not going back in right now. So, since I have tomorrow off too, I'll probably make a couple videos tomorrow, and I'll just show you them then, because I did forget about them. They were hidden. Okay, so my last video, I think it was, I told you, one of my last videos, I told you about my idea about doing theories of, my own theories of some shows and movies and books that it doesn't really mention. Like, this one's about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I'm really in the mood to do this one because I have a lot of insight on it. It's Tara's past explained. We already know some about her past. Like, after Joyce died, Tara told Buffy that she went through a rebellion stage after her own mother died, indicating that she really cared for her mother, and kind of lost it a little bit when she lost her. And then we also know a little bit about Tara from when her family came, her father, brother, and cousin, which it doesn't say what side, but I think it's her dad's side because of how she was saying that Tara's demon for having magic. And she didn't have magic because her magic comes from her mother's side, not her father's side. Her father, brother, and cousin convinced Tara and her mom that their magic is from a demon part of themselves, that their magic is evil, so they hardly used it and feared that the demon in them would come out and harm people. So I guess that's why people don't talk about how powerful Tara really is, but I'll get to that in a different episode because I have another theory about Tara being more powerful than even Willow, just not in the obvious way like Willow was. Also a theory about Willow I'm going to eventually do about how she has magic. Because like Tara, we know she has magic because of her mom, you know, and I'll get into that when I get to that video. Tara and her mother lived in fear, and it got her dad and brother to take advantage of that fear and pretty much act like they are slaves. Tara was supposed to do everything for her family, clean, cook, everything. Beth, which was Tara's cousin, even told her when they came looking for her that her dad and brother had to do everything on their own and it wasn't fair because after Tara's mom died, it was all up to her. You know, so they pretty much used her. I don't think they thought of her as a member of the family, you know? It's just what they did to her was really wrong. No wonder she had, you know, I mean, people just keep playing with their minds, you know? Her family did, then Glory, and when Willow did it, she just couldn't handle it anymore, understandably. Her mind's been played with so many times. It's a wonder she even knows what's real and what's not anymore. Shows you how strong she is. She's stronger than people give her credit for. Like when Glory did the whole mind thing, you know. I mean, she wouldn't have done that if she would have just given up Dawn. But she was breaking Tara's hand and ended up making her go crazy. And Tara still would not give up Dawn. It just shows you. They even made her think that her mom died because of the demon and the evil magic within. Her dad mentioned that at one point in the episode about how something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically implied that the magic's why her mother died. This would explain why when you first met her in Hush, she was extremely shy. I think it was more than a typical shy, typical girl with a bad past who was shy to speak her mind or to meet anyone new. You know, I mean, it was more than that. I believe she wasn't shy. Well, okay, maybe she was a little bit shy, because people can't just be shy because, you know, just because they're shy. But I think it was more than that. I think it was more than her just being shy in a new school, in a new town. But I believe it was mostly fear. Think about it. She was afraid of her family, not including her mom, and afraid of herself, what she could do and what she was capable of. You know, and even though she had a connection with Willow from the beginning, she was afraid of making the first move in fear of hurting her. You know, because if they did get close, then she was afraid that the demon would come out and hurt her. At least that's how I see it. When her family came, everyone found out the truth about her and her past. But there was more that they didn't know, like how she lived in constant fear. You could see that fear when she first saw her brother and then her dad and cousin. But then, because of Anya and Spike, she found out that her family had been lying to her entire life. She wasn't evil, and there wasn't even a little bit of demon in her, which didn't surprise the audience since she's as pure as they can be. But because Anya started asking questions, because that's who Anya is. She was inquisitive. And she got all curious about what kind of demon she is, because Anya knows that not all demons are bad. You know, there's vampires with souls. There's good vengeance demons who lost their powers. You know, she knows that there are good demons. And if the part of Tara is a good demon, then it wouldn't really matter if she was part demon or not, because she could still be very helpful to the gang. And then when none of them could answer Anya's questions, Spike understood what was going on immediately. And since he had that chip in his head, he couldn't hurt anyone who had even a little bit of human in them. Except for Buffy after season 5, because Buffy was technically dead, so he was able to hurt her. But that's not the point. Point is that he decided to make it all clear. So he was like, so he walked up to Tara and punched her in the nose, and it hurt both of them. And that's when they all realized that Tara did have even an ounce of demon in her, because if she did, Spike would have been able to hurt her and not hurt himself. That was the whole point of the chip. He couldn't hurt anyone who was human. He could only hurt demons. And if Tara even had a little bit of demon, then it would have shown when he punched her, because Spike wouldn't have been hurt. But he was. So everyone figured it out. And I love when they were all saying that you can't take Tara because against her will without having to go through all of us. And then he was like, we are her blood kin. Who the hell are you? And then Buffy's like, we're family. I just think that's so sweet. I had to mention it. Okay, so because Tara didn't really feel like part of the game until that moment, and it was just really sweet. I believe Tara was emotionally abused her whole life and physically abused, since her brother did threaten her and she flinched and lived in fear of her family and herself. Because if you remember that, when they were all standing up for Tara, the brother got mad and he stepped forward and he was like, I swear to God, Tara, if you don't get into that car, I'm going to beat you down, or something like that. And Tara flinched and even stepped back a little. And then that's when Xander stepped in and he was like, and I can bet with your full manly beard, you're going to break something trying. Basically saying that he will have to go through Xander to force Tara into that car, which is really sweet. But because throughout the episode, you could tell she was emotionally abused because of them treating her the way they did and saying she was demon and evil, and but in that moment, it never says anything, but in that moment you can just get a sense that it was more than just the mind that they abused. I think they abused her. And that's also probably why she lived in fear, you know? I mean, she's been emotionally abused, she's been beaten, she's just been abused all the way through. Let's see. She lives in fear of her family and herself because of what she thought she was until that moment when she realized she wasn't demon. Probably afraid to come into her house because her family, afraid to leave her home because of what she might do. So it's like she was probably, I think she was afraid to leave her house knowing what she might end up doing on accident, but afraid to go home at the same time because afraid of what will happen once she steps through that household. You know, her family might yell at her, or they might decide to beat her because she might have done something wrong. I think that's also why she was afraid to speak up, and she was afraid to say the wrong thing because she was just so used to if she said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing that she was going to get beaten, that she was so afraid of speaking her own mind because they had beaten her down literally and figuratively. So she just couldn't speak up without that constant fear. It wasn't until she really became a member of the gang and really had Willow, who helped build up her confidence, the confidence she needed to be built up. But one day, something big must have happened. It can't be her magic burning out, or she would have never left. I think her dad may have abused her to the point she had to go to the hospital. And I think it was never that bad in the past. I mean, they might have left a few bruises, maybe a few scratches, but I don't think it ever have made it hospitalized. And until and then he got angry, maybe abused her so bad she ended up in the hospital for a little bit. So it was never that bad in the past, and after she got better, she just couldn't take it anymore, and she ran away. And that's how she got to Sunnydale and met Willow and the gang. For the first time in her life, she was treated the way she was meant to, with respect and love, not just from Willow, but as a true member of the Scooby Gang. And so that's why I believe that Tara was mentally and physically abused to the point where she couldn't even speak up or say what's on her mind or do anything without the constant fear, you know. And so it just, and that thinking of all this made what Willow did that much messed up. But Tara never mentioned how bad it got, so no one even knew. Now that was an excuse for Willow, because what she did was just wrong. As much as I love the relationship, what she did was just beyond wrong. But anyways, so that's what I believe. Please like and subscribe and comment your theories on this subject.